These are the two inputs. This is the rear, this is the front, different sizes. Brake booster, master cylinder. There's a vacuum line here. There's the two lines that, I think this is the front, this is the rear. They divided up, it got a couple of coils. I don't know why. Those coils, they were there in the original, so I'm gonna put them back in. And then they ran down the body back behind the driver to a balancing valve on the driver's side. And that balancing valve then split the lines up to the to the left and right front brakes. And a single line went to the rear where there's 4 more brake drums. And it was split up back there. It's a bigger diameter line. There's a couple of holes existing here already. I'll have to enlarge them because there's fittings that have to fit through on the ends of the flare fittings. And with the balancing valve here, I can tie all that in. I'll copy as best I can the lines coming from the master cylinder, from the originals. And once I get that in place, I can route the lines anywhere from here. Left and right front tires can go from here. I can, in both directions. The rear line will probably go down the passenger side rail, and I'll divide it up back there between the axles like it was originally, just on the other side, on the opposite passenger side instead of the driver's side. However, first thing, put the balancing valve in, make up the lines. Once I get the lines made up to the balancing valve, that'll all be done. Then I'll have to disconnect them because I think at that point I'm going to take the cab off the frame. This stays with the cab, but the lines will stay down here on the frame. And with the cab off, it gives a free access to everything back here. So I can go ahead and make up my lines just by, instead of crawling around underneath this, I can just work from up above. It's not often I get to use these. These are tubing wrenches. They're made to fit around the tubing, but then they grasp all the way around the tubing nut so that it doesn't round off these heads. And that one came right off. Because normally these are stuck in here and you're not going to get them off without a fight. Luckily, these are happening all right. I'm loosening these are the front brakes, front lines. The rear line comes here. And that's just, I've already cut that one. These are the two inputs. This is the rear, this is the front, different sizes. Probably have to redo these lines for sure because these are going to be coming in from a different place now. One thing about when I'm moving this, it's going to allow me to have an inner fender well here. Splash shield, from the front wheel. Instead of having this thing obstructing it, I can just have a nice plate going across it here. And there we are. Clean that up a bit and then remount it. Modify this bracket somehow and put it up in the frame. I taped off all the fittings and sandblasted both the bracket and the balance valve, and it looks pretty nice. Give it a shot of aluminum paint. I don't know how long it'll stay on there because this is brake fluid. It'll pretty much take off any kind of paint, I think. From the way it was mounted before, this is upside down. This is there's the little electric switch here. There's a piston inside, and when it moves too far one way or the other, this makes a light, supposed to make a warning light come on, that it's unbalanced. Well, there's really no reason that I could see that this couldn't be turned upside down. It used to be like this, now I've got it like this. And that brings me to the second point I'm going to make. I've been trying to run all the tubing and stuff through the frame. They didn't do that at the factory. They just ran it wherever. Yeah, it would look neat, but as far as bending a piece of tubing and then try to get the fittings through, that's just too hard. I am just going to, in that case, I'm going to mount this. I mounted this upside down because this makes it easy. This is about lined up with where that is. So I've got the piece of pipe that'll come out. It'll come up from underneath the frame, because it's, it's got distance there. I can protect that. So this is the front brake, the rear brake. Rear brake will continue from this point and go around me, around my back, to where I'll have it link up to the back brakes. Position this so that I can go straight down. It's not going to interfere with the frame here. It's close, but it ain't going to touch. And still it's out of the way, protected from, as much as it can be. I have probably had this little tool for 30 years. This is going to be the first time that I can remember that I've ever used it. I had actually gone to Napa and I bought a kind of a pliers looking thing because I couldn't find it. And I came back and I tried to use it, and it's a nice tool. It's a nice enough tool. But it had some limitations. This is a full circle. The one on the tool that I bought, only a portion of this was 3/16, and then you're supposed to flip it upside down and get the 1/4 inch and so on and so forth. I can make a full circle around here with this one. Now I need to come straight up. To do this, I have to guesstimate how to do this. So I'm going to replace it. I've cut off about 3/4 of an inch off this end, and that should bring it this way, and hopefully that'll give me enough room then to make it up into here. If not, nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's a 90. We're good. Now I'll do the, here's a piece of 2 7/8 oil-filled tubing. Going to use that for the coil. Now this goes in here. There's the 3/16 line was over here. I'll put the coil on that side. So I'm going to put the coil on the mirror image here. Nothing to it. I'm going to do a full 720 here. Okay, it's more or less straight. And now I have to do a bend here that bends in at an angle down to where the balance valve is. Good. The balancing valve, these two still have to be connected. This one will go to the this will go to the left side, passenger side. This will go to the driver's side, front brakes. This one goes to the rear brake, again down the passenger side frame rail. They come up from underneath. They look nice going up underneath there. Go to here. Then we have our 2 coils. It's been months and months since I've had the cab off. It's going to be nice not to have to climb up inside of it every time I need to work on something. My first task, I think, is to run from this big, this is a 1/4 inch line, that's for the back brakes. I'm going to run it down this rail to the back, wind up back here, where I've just got that little T-piece sitting, and I'll bolt that in. I still have to decide whether I want to go over the top of this frame or through it. And I think I'll go through it just to save some bends. It's got to tie into there. And then this side of the T-piece goes over to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just getting back to ground zero here. I've been preparing to go from the divider valve here. This is the back brakes, front brake. Go along this rail, head back, back brake back there. Now the front brake was back in here, really hard to get to, and there's really no reason to be hard like that because this is gonna flex no matter what. So I figured, why not put it to the front? The manual actually shows pictures below this body mount. It comes through the body mount here and then down and connects in. So, why not just repeat that? So I'll put that here, make it nice and easy to get to. That's for the front brake. It was really crowded in here, and what I've done is I've removed the entire air conditioning compressor and the bracketry. Because, there's a giant hole back here. I don't think air conditioner is going to do much. This is where the air conditioner compressor used to be. 2 bolts here. There was one along right here, which I've made a spacer to attach the fan bracket again. There was another bolt here, which was just a stud. I've also removed the charcoal canister. The 1/4-inch line for the back brakes is going to go along about this angle, and I've got a T-piece. It's going to go right there. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to take these pieces all out. So far I've been really lucky. All these tubing nuts have come out. No worries. I don't know how controversial this is, but I just don't want to go up over the top of the frame here. It was that way, I think, in the motorhome. I think everything went up. But this frame is pretty darn heavy. It's full of holes already. So I am going to drill a hole here. Been doing some measurements. The center of this T-piece that goes to the 2 hoses is about 1 3/8 inches from here. I've taken a straight edge and I've measured that to go down in here. And this is roughly a little, about a 3/16 of an inch higher than this part. Anyways, I'm going to account for that and just go straight in. Use this hole saw, and that'll put straight through the frame. And then that'll go straight to my fitting here and straight to the other side. I think I got it. This took 2 months, longer than I wanted to. Yeah, I was doing other stuff around the yard and such, but I have never done lines like this. I've never really even seen it done. So this is all really a big new learning experience for me. But I think I got it. Rearranged things. Let me show you what I've done. All right, just to recap, this divider valve is now up front underneath the cab. It used to be located right back here. All the lines had come up and then distributed around. The front brakes went from here to the back along this frame member to the other wheel. I've changed it all now. I've moved these brackets on both sides from underneath here, which is really hard to get to. And I've run the wires forward up underneath the body mount, go along the frame, up underneath, over to the divider valve. And for the rear brake and the passenger side brake, this pair of lines over underneath the body mount. Again, mounting that forward instead of back underneath there. And then following this line back, this is where the charcoal canister used to be, along the frame. Down to here, it drops down, goes to the back, goes over to the top of the T, and then from either side it goes into the divider or the T-piece there on this side and on the other, through the holes in the frame. I have to do some research and see if it's okay to have one straight piece of tubing that long. There's no heat, this is just a cross member. I don't know if it's going to buckle or stretch. Maybe I need an expansion loop. I'll do some homework on it. Every other place, there's a bend on it somewhere. Take up some stretch and give it some give. But, by and large, I got it figured out. Once I got that, that fancy super cool, that's the name of it, the flaring tool, double flaring tool, that coated tubing I was using, the first for the power steering, what a nightmare. I think that coating really messed it up. I was really having trouble making flares, but all of this other stuff worked all right. Worked really well. I got pretty good at it, I think. Anyways, next, where I'm standing, is going to be a fuel tank. And I've got to route fuel and a way to fuel it up, fuel lines, figure out the fuel pump. The fuel pump was on the motor. But, modern vehicles have the fuel pump inside the tank. I'm going to see if I can retrofit something like that. If not, that's okay. I can mount a fuel pump, electric fuel pump back here somewhere. In any case, I'm going to get rid of the one on the motor. Thank you for sticking with me so far. There's been so much time between this video and the last. I probably lost some subscribers. But if you stuck with me this far, thank you. If you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying the series, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.